Jaywant Singh is Professor of Marketing at the University of Southampton's Business School, joining us now. Hi there. I'm wondering how this ad got through, presumably, many checks, both in the ad agency and with the client, without someone flagging that it might be racially insensitive.
Yeah, good question. So, essentially, there are two schools of thoughts. One is that a lot of people believe that these kind of ads are created deliberately to gain instant publicity. But at the same time, there are also culturally insensitive, teams working in several, companies, which are what I call, working in a creative echo chambers, wherein homogeneous teams just bounce off ideas to each other and reinforce their existing beliefs. And as a result, it falls through the crack and avoids scrutiny before it is released for mass consumption. So it could be either.
Do you think that there's a problem with the lack of transformation within the creative fields?
It could be possible, yes. They're not paying enough attention to. It's a senseless ad in a sense, So it doesn't make sense to put a model with a gesture to advertise for a watch brand. So, it requires stricter scrutiny, definitely.
We've seen quite a lot of ads that are at best tone deaf to its audience, at worst downright insulting. Just two examples, the Kendall Jenner Pepsi ad, where she hands the cops a can of Pepsi during Black Lives Matter, and also more recently the Sydney Sweeney I've Got Good Genes ad for American Eagle. Those got people talking. You were saying earlier, perhaps suggesting there's no such thing as bad publicity. Is this strategy or a failure?
As I said, it's very hard to tell unless, you're an insider, but it could be a deliberate strategy to gain immediate attention. And, these days, in the day and age of digital media, it's like it creates a global firestorm around the controversy. And quite often the brand gains prominence and stays in the, memory of people for the long term. So it's a way to gain that publicity immediately, and then through a controversy. So it's equally possible that somebody created this ad and they did not do the necessary checks, and it went through, completely culturally insensitive check process.
It may raise brand awareness, but what does it do to the share price, particularly when consumers decide to boycott? I think there was a huge fallout from Bud Light. And also, I think in this particular case, we've seen the share price dropping with Swatch.
Yes. So again, the long-term impact, first I'll talk about it. The long-term impact might not be as severe as, we suspect, because there is no empirical evidence to show that. We have, cases like the VW's diesel scandal from 2018, 2017. And in fact, in a couple of years' time, the market share went up, actually, of the car brand. So after the such huge controversy, and they had to pay a penalty. So in the short term, yes, there might be there is likely to be an impact on share prices and in terms of consumer perception. So it's all how the brand responds is quite important. If they respond in an effective way, take ownership of the mistake, suggest transparent processes, how they will go forward with this and not to commit such mistakes. So one or two mistakes can be forgiven in this sense, but in the long term, if they keep repeating these things, then this will be what we call cancellation from the media, from the audiences.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Jaywant Singh, Professor of Marketing at University of Southampton's Business School.